لبشي دوام باسي oropharynx دكين. The middle pharyngeal region immediately posterior to the oral cavity, bounded by the edge of the soft palate superiorly and hyoid bone inferiorly. Common respiratory and digestive pathway through which both air and salt, food and drink pass. Laryngopharynx, inferior narrow region of the pharynx, extend inferiorly from the hyoid bone to the larynx and esophagus. Terminates at the posterior border of the esophagus and the epiglottis of the larynx. Permit passage of both food and air. Trachea, a flexible tube called weed pipe, extended through the mediastinum and lies anterior to the esophagus and inferior to the larynx. Anterior and lateral wall of the trachea supported by 50 to 20 C-shaped tracheal cartilage. Cartilage ring reinforced and provide rigidity to the tracheal wall to ensure that the trachea remain open at the time. Posterior part of the tube lined by tracheal muscle. At the level of the sternal angle, the trachea bifurcated into the smaller tube called the right and left primary bronchi. Each primary bronchi projected laterally toward each larynx. The most inferior tracheal cartilage separated as an internal rigid called the carina. Anatomy of the trachea length da 11.5 cm diameter ke 2 cm لشازة تا C shape ring cartilage pegded. The space between each cartilage is called ligament. أوش بين كيتي. Bronchi is divided at the lower end into the primary main bronchi called the right and left bronchis at the level of the sternal angle, opposite the disc between the fourth and fifth thoracic vertebrae. The right main bronchi is more vertical, wider and shorter than left bronchi. That's why the foreign body easily goes to the right bronchi more than the left bronchi. Bronchi, primary bronchi divide into secondary bronchi. Secondary bronchi divides into tertiary bronchi, which ultimately divides into the small bronchiole. Then finally into the alveolar duct that terminate in tiny disc called alveoli. Alveola. The alveolus is the basic anatomical unit of the gas exchange in the lung. Resemble cluster grub-like. The alveolar duct and alveolar lined by simple squamous epithelium, which permit a rapid diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Larynx. Voice box is short, somewhat cylindrical. Airway ended in the trachea, prevent swallowing material from entering. The lower respiratory tract, conducting air into the lower respiratory tract, produce sound, supported by the framework of the 9 pieces of the cartilage, 3 divided pieces and 3 cartilaginous pair, say parts or session zuten, that are held by places by ligament and muscles. 9C cartilage from the frame of the larynx thyroid cartilage. بقيك آدمه حالنا تمشاكني كريكويد وانا ناو كان اللي راه مويان ديارك باسي دكاتن هر كامين تمشان دي مزبوط مصيان دي كسياشان دوا. Glottis, the superior opening of the larynx. Epiglottis prevent food and drink from the entering airway when swallowing.